Hi, this is Misha, and I'm about to box one of these up and send to a friend, and I thought, hey, before I do that, well, I've got all three lengths here. I'd do a little video for the personal page. We've done enough videos on this gun here on the main Mishaco channel. This is CZ's new Bren 2S. All three of these are pistols in 5.56 NATO, 5.56 by 45, 223 Remington. This is the kind of pre-production sample version. Only 300 total of these came in, 50 of each variant. We've got the three here, 50, 50, 50, making 150, and then the same in 7.6239, making the other 50, 50, 50. And pretty much all of these went to Bill Hicks, and from there, most all that I'm aware of went to Prepper. These were kind of samples that CZ Czech sent over to CZ USA, but then CZ USA wanted to make some changes, which we've seen now with the Bren 2MS. Some of the differences are they took away the lightning cuts, they also made a more modular handguard system, so on and so forth. The only difference between these three is the barrel length. Up top we have the 14-incher. This is the longest that the military uses. It's called the 2A. It's threaded half by 28. It's got an open 3-prong flash hider. Has kind of this curly-Q design to keep it from ringing. It has a bayonet lug that takes the same bayonet that the Bren 805 A1 accepted. Then we have the gas system, all of that. It does come with iron sights that flip up. Next, we have the 11-inch variant. Same flash hider. No bayonet lug, but it's not quite long enough for it. In the military, this is the 2A2. And it's analogous, kind of replacing the 805 A2. It's considered the Carbine version, whereas this is the rifle version, I guess. Everything else in the back is the same, including the gas system length. And as you can tell, this one has a side folding brace on it. A little sight. And it's got a sling, so you know it's mine. And then finally, we have the shortest, the 8-inch barrel, still threaded half by 28, still with the 3-prong. And of course, you can see it just barely sticks out. Everything in the back is the same. Because of the shorter gas of the Bren 2, they were able to go to a shorter barrel. This is a submachine gun or subcompact or commando length. This gun here was actually the one that Chris Bartacci, Small Arms Solution, reviewed. I mostly agree with his review except for one thing. He really didn't like the trigger. I actually think the triggers on these are fine. Are they as good as the 805? No. But they are leaps and bounds above, say, a Tavor, an ARX 100, or many other polymer trigger guns. I do like that they're wide and checkered. And in it we've got one of the factory mags. These are very similar, if not the same, as what's issued in the Czech Republic. It's just a black anodized AR-15 mag. Now the 805 could feed from its own proprietary mags. It also had a magwell adapter to take AR-15s. The Bren 2 is just AR-15 mags. So yeah, the 3 barrel lengths, 14, 11, and 8. Obviously, the only difference is the length. And of course, the weight. The 14 is the heaviest, naturally. The bayonet lug and the extra barrel add some. I also feel like the barrel between the gas block and the lug is just the tiniest degree fatter. I can imagine this was done for heat and also to give the barrel strength because it is hanging out pretty far unsupported. This one just seems a little bit thinner sticking out here. And I notice on the 8-inch, it only sticks out a tiny bit, but the barrel is fatter. There's no taper because why step it down? You wouldn't even have room to step it up. So the barrel's technically fatter here, but I mean we're less than an inch. So there you have it. The 8-inch is noticeably lighter than the 14. You could get these from Prepper as a pistol or with an arm brace. Although they didn't offer it with the folding hinge, I added that myself. But why did I kind of end up going with the 11? So I've opted to keep the 11-inch. You knew that maybe because it has a sling on it, plus the optics and everything in the stock. Why did I go with that? In a sense, it's kind of a Goldilocks situation. It's just right in the middle, kind of just right, a nice balance. But really, if money was not an object, I'd have all three. But luckily, these barrels are quite easy to quick change with the torque wrench. So if CZ down the road offers additional barrels, and they're not god-awful expensive, which really they shouldn't be because for the 805 they were about $500 for the whole assembly, not just the barrel. I'll probably pick it up. So what do I like about the 8-inch? Mostly it's terribly tiny and this thing is small. Put a folding brace on it. It's about as compact as a 223 gets, and it's also extremely reliable and extremely lightweight. I mean, this thing is barely over 6 pounds because of the short barrel and no real accoutrement on the end. So that's nice. But the 14 has some things to recommend it too. I like its very military look with the bayonet lug especially. It's the only one that has that. And of course 14 inches will give you the best range and accuracy. And it is the standard Bren 2A1 that the military is going to. But my friend really wants this version, so I'll know where it's at if I ever want to get it back off of him. The 11-inch. It's right in the middle. Barrel sticks out. 11 inches definitely gives a little better performance than 8. Looks a little more balanced. It looks more like a real carbine, not just a little stubby gun. The barrel's a little thinner and no bayonet lug, so it's noticeably lighter than the 14, but not quite as light as the 8 still. And it's not quite as short, but yeah. So what are detractions? Well, the 8's pretty obvious. It's an 8-inch gun firing 223. Quite a large fireball, although the flash hider is pretty effective. But there's only so much you can do with that little barrel. Range, accuracy are compromised. And also it has the most felt recoil because of how light it is. So it's kind of the least fun to shoot. Even if it is maybe the easiest to throw in a backpack. I mean, this thing is small, guys. This is legitimately a pistol. Like, it's so light you could legitimately shoot this as a straight pistol. But it's very clearly not a standard issue gun, and I like to have standard issues. As for the 14, we have the opposite problem. It's getting heavy. Not super heavy, but 7 pounds. And I've got a Bren 805, a Bren 1, with a 14-inch barrel. So I've already got a gun with a 14-inch barrel, and really it doesn't weigh much more than this, about a pound at most. So I've already got a Czech Bren rifle as such, and it has the bayonet lug. Also, while it's kind of grown on me a little bit, the way this barrel just sticks out a good 6 inches is a little goofy looking. Kind of reminds me of US carbines when they have to put the long barrels on them. If you were to say this was a long-barreled ATF compliant version, I don't think you would really shock people. They'd probably just accept that, even though this is actually the length and style they use. I will say this, guys, those of you who are waiting on the 16-inch Bren Carbine, if they use this length gas system and forearm and add 2 more inches to it, it's gonna be absurd looking. And if they add a longer forearm and gas system coming out here, it's gonna weigh almost as much as the 805. So just keep that in mind. The more mass you add, the heavier it's gonna weigh, and it's also gonna be all mass out towards the muzzle, because this part doesn't change, and it's quite light because of the alloy receiver and polymer lower. So in the end, the 11 was just a good mix. It gives us better range and accuracy. It's a legitimate carbine length used by their military. Just a good compromise. Plus, I don't have an 805 pistol, so I don't have an A2 length gun in Czech speak. So this will complement my standard 805 very nicely. Well, for a good bit of shooting, disassembly, even some history and tech specs, check out our main page over at Mishaco. Like I said, I just wanted to show these off together while I had all 3. Because as far as we know, no more of these will be coming in. It will be the 2 MS from now on. It is a very cool and fun gun. Well, if you could, like, share, subscribe. Any questions or comments, please post them below. As always, I greatly appreciate it. And this is Misha, and I will catch you very soon next time.